Hey y'all, it's your favorite duck here, Derek the Duck. And today I'm going to be reviewing the movie Melania. Okay, now let's just start by saying I'm going to put all politics aside, I'm focusing solely on this as a movie, okay? All subject matter, politics, and opinions aside, how does it work as a movie, basically, is what I want to focus on. Now, I will admit, I kind of saw it out of morbid curiosity. It's not the kind of movie I usually would watch. I like horror movies, especially found footage. Some might even argue that this is a version of a found footage horror movie. But, all that to say is this is not the kind of movie I would normally watch. But I just had a birthday, and for my birthday, my brother, he knows I like to go to Alamo Drafthouse. And Alamo Drafthouse is not playing Melania, not the ones in Texas anywhere. But my brother got me one of those gift cards from Costco for Cinemark. Now, the Alamo Drafthouse gift card is it's 25% off, but you have to buy $100 worth. And the one at Cinemark, the one that Costco sells at Cinemark, is 20% off, but you only have to buy a $50 one. So of course that's the one I got, as a gift. So I had to go to Cinemark and I had to use the gift card. It had to be after work and this and that. Like a whole perfect storm of things has to happen for me to get out to Cinemark. I don't like going to that theater. I worry that there's going to be rowdy people, talking or on their phone, that sort of thing. Because Alamo Drafthouse, well, it used to not let you do that, but now Alamo Drafthouse is letting the phones go on, and it's just a nightmare. But I've already made another video about that and how Alamo Drafthouse is slowly becoming Cinemark. So I might as well just embrace the Cinemarkification of the world and go there. So I went to Cinemark. It was, on the strange part of town. I don't know. But inside it was kind of nice. And they had, margaritas and stuff. It was cheaper than at the Alamo Drafthouse, I'll tell you that. So I got myself a margarita. And I said, I'm going to just come in with an open mind. I do see all movies, even though I prefer horror movies. I will see pretty much all movies. I do have that season pass with Alamo Drafthouse, so I go to the movies almost every day when I'm in Texas. When I'm in Vegas, I don't have time for that stuff. I have like the real world, it's exciting. But when I'm stuck here and bored, I go to the movies. So I'll see any movie except for those awful Marvel superhero, formulaic, they're all the same kind of movie. I don't see that. But anything else that's like, anything else, it doesn't matter. So being open-minded as I am, I said, well, I know that this movie, it's a documentary. I know that it's controversial. I know that its director is controversial. I know that the subject matter, I know that a lot of it is controversial. But I had morbid curiosity and I wanted to check it out, and it was free because of the gift card, and the margarita was also free because that was also with the gift card. So what are you gonna do? I thought I would check it out. Turns out I didn't have to worry about a loud audience and people being disrespectful or whatever, because there was no one there but me. I was the only one there. I had heard that that's sort of the case. And what did they say? Like, there was one ticket purchased in the UK like last week or something. When those things happen, that makes me really want to see it more. I don't believe in censoring things. If it doesn't matter, if people say, oh, don't go see it, well, that makes me kind of want to go see it. So, yeah, I was the only one there in the theater, and that was pretty nice. So I had my margarita, I had the chair that adjusts. It's one of those like lazy boy. I don't know, what do you call it? It's a reclining chair. And I sat down to watch Melania, the movie. Yeah, the documentary. So I wanted to just, I mean, you can't say no spoilers because everything in the movie has happened in real life. So you know what it's about. It's about Melania Trump, the First Lady of the United States. And I will say that as far as documentaries go, this was a weak documentary. It didn't inspire me. It wasn't really emotional. It didn't have any, I didn't really learn too much. It didn't uncover something, there was no twist. As a documentary, I don't think it really works. And a lot of it, you can just kind of tell, like, well, Melania produced it as well. So, there's these parts where she's looking really beautiful and almost perfect and glamorous, and you can tell they probably, had her rehearse whatever walk she did as she walks into the room like a million times. So it looked really, it wasn't so much of a found footage, like a cinema verite. I wouldn't say that too much of it was really documentary feeling. Like, it didn't feel like a documentary. It felt rehearsed. It felt overly glossy, that sort of thing. Now, I will say there were actually a few good points to the movie, okay, that I liked. One was it was very beautiful. It was sumptuous, elegant, everything was gilded. It was successful in that it transported me to another world with like the one percenters where everything is so beautiful. It almost felt like Succession, like that show Succession, where, there's power, there's politics, yes, but, show me those big mansions, show me the, comfortable cars, the sedans that they drive in, those big SUVs, show me all of that kind of stuff. I liked that part of it. It was very beautiful. The music was beautiful. I think they took some of it from like Phantom Thread, that movie. That's kind of controversial too. But a lot of it had that same kind of feel. If you've seen that movie, Phantom Thread, I love that movie. But just beautiful, beautiful homes and winding staircases with, sumptuous orchestral arrangements with pianos and stuff. The music was really great. And they had some pretty big hits in there, a lot of songs from the 80s, some 70s. So it had a good score, a good soundtrack, a good score, cinematography. It was just gorgeous. It was really quite something to look at. And another thing that I liked about it was that it was fascinating to see sort of what goes on in the White House. You don't see that all the time. Yeah, you see press conferences in the Oval Office, certain rooms, but to actually see the residence where Melania lives and to see their living rooms and just that sort of behind the scenes look that could apply to any president. Just to see what that place is like. It's really quite fascinating. That I found very interesting. Overall, I would say it was a very beautifully crafted package, but it didn't do too much for me. It reminds me of that movie Sex and the City 2. I guess you could say. Like it was beautiful. It was actually more like feminine than you probably would think. I mean, like huge amounts of time were spent just almost like a fashion show, showing her different outfits and all of her designers, and they're trying to make sure that everything fit, and her gowns, that sort of thing. It almost seemed like a fashion show, like a Sex and the City or something like that. It was like a fashion show. and, you know, her picking out fabrics, that sort of thing. So there was a lot of that. It felt like a polished, you know, beautiful thing for the eyes. But ultimately, like I said, it didn't really challenge me as a documentary. You know, wasn't the greatest thing I've ever seen, but it did transport me and entertain me and give me something, you know, pretty to look at for a few hours in my otherwise boring life that I have here sometimes. So, would I recommend it? I probably wouldn't say recommend it to see at the movies. You don't really need to see it that big anywhere. Maybe if it's on, you know, Tubi or something, you know, check it out or something like that. If you want to be transported and see that sort of behind the scenes look of what it's like to be the First Lady and to see a little bit of the White House and all that pageantry that goes into it. It's kind of interesting, I think. I thought it was interesting. Not my favorite movie of all time by any means, but it existed, and so I did see it. Anyway, I hope you found this review somewhat amusing and informative, and you can make your own decision about it, and especially if you have a free gift card. But thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I do lots of reviews of different entertainment things that help get me through the day when I'm not in fabulous Las Vegas. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.